New things, new things.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes. Oh, good.
Okay.
Yay.
Think we're live now.
I think we're live. Let's see. It shows that we're live on your end on Facebook.
Hi, everybody. We're getting ready for our free training right now with Jon Bingham.
Woo!
Awesome. Looks like we have about 10 people on right now. How is everybody doing?
Yes, talk to us.
Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you, kind of, or hear from you.
Share while we're waiting. Let's just say good morning, say hi, share a quote. Let's get motivated before Jon just fries our brain with so much value.
Hi, Jess.
Oh, Jessica, hello. Jessica, we would love if you would share the live video for us. I'm going to jump on and do that right now.
I'm going to share to our members only group really quick.
Perfect. But yeah, jump on and share a success. Share something fun, a quote that you just heard of. Let's get some engagement going.
Also, if you are tuning in on Facebook, we are monitoring the comments. So those are live. If you have any questions for us or any questions for Jon, who's going to be presenting the training, comment, and then I will be monitoring those, and I'll make sure that your questions are getting answered.
We're going to mute for just for now, but please jump on and share some love. Okay. All right.
So I think that we have Jon.
There he is.
Hi, Jon.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you. And we already have about 12 people on right now, and we are streaming live. And so we're just letting a couple people jump on real quick. Everybody, if on the chat box on Zoom, please jump on and say hi if you're on Zoom. And if you're on our Facebook Live, this is our first live stream that we're doing.
Woo, woo.
So we're learning new and we're pivoting. Please jump on and share your favorite quote, share a success that you've received. Doesn't matter how small. I'm going to jump on and share these a little bit, and then we'll begin.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Audrey. Audrey, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can probably hear us really loud. Audrey's in an office that's really close to where we are at currently. So, hey, Jolynn.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, I'm going to just share this real quick. Hey, for those who are on Facebook Live, feel free to jump on and share it as well. It's amazing for Jon to share some value for our community, and we're really excited. And so if you do want to jump on and just share our live video, that would be a great way to support us.
All right.
Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Carrie, yay! Okay, and you got the comment.
Yep. And again, if you're watching this on Facebook, we're monitoring the Zoom chat as well as Facebook comments. So if you have any questions for Jon, who is our expert presenter today, we will be monitoring those, and we'll make sure that your specific questions get answered today.
All right, so it's 10 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and just jump on and begin. We're really excited to provide this training for everybody in the community, but most importantly, I'm really thrilled to introduce you to Jon Bingham. Jon Bingham is the She Sparks business coach. He's been my coach for over a year now, and he gets to put up with me once a week. And so, Jon, I'm so glad that you're here to share your knowledge, and just thank you for supporting the community at this time.
Hey, you're welcome. Now, can you guys hear me all right?
We can can definitely hear you all right. Yes. So
Good.
the training we're going to do, John, do you mind just giving a quick overview, and then I'm going to share your bio and just a little bit more thoughts.
Well, we're going to go over some things as far as what you should be doing right now to stay in front of what's going on in the country and the world with the virus. Some of the things that are happening in different parts of the country, parts of the states. Some areas that are experiencing they're experiencing some. It's really hard to do business right now. So we're going to see what we can talk about as far as the about 3 or 4 different items that they should be doing right now to stay in front of it. And also at the same time, lead. You need to lead your company. You need to lead your employees. You need to lead your customers. You need to help those around you. We'll talk a little bit about that too, because you can't just isolate yourself. You really do need to be, but at the same time, you still have to take care of your health and the health of those around you. But I've noticed a lot, older folks are supposed to be staying home. They're not staying home. They're out shopping all over the place. So maybe they're thinking that they don't need to do that. I don't know, but we'll talk about that a little bit too. And so we have quite a few things that we'll discuss, but mostly I want to do is get to question and answers and concerns that you guys have, and we'll do that live.
Perfect. So I'm going to ask kindly everybody, definitely grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. I'm really excited for Jon to share his knowledge. What we're going to do is Jon's going to provide an amazing training on what businesses could be and should be doing at this time to stay consistent, to still grow and take care of your customers, and then really think of a critical question or a need that you have at this time. The best way to write those questions down, since we will have a large viewing, is either put it in the chat box. If you're on the webinar for Zoom, write your questions there, and Emily and I will make sure we're keeping track of it. And if you're on our Facebook Live and you have a question, we are monitoring it over here.
Yes, we got you.
So good morning, Ryan. Thanks for jumping on. So we have plenty of questions and a lot of fun things that we're going to go over. So here is Jon Bingham. I want to share his bio. Since 1992, Jon has generated over 292 million in sales and revenue for his clients and partners with outrageous marketing strategies. Yes, he has. Strategies that work for any businesses within any profession in any industry. Jon has trained and counseled the coaching and coached over 1,200 companies. Oh my gosh. He has presented workshops, seminars, webinars, teleseminars to over 17,000 people, business owners across the country. So we are going to put his website link on this message, the Zoom, and we're also going to put it on the live so you can continue to learn what Jon's up to. What Jon has done for She Sparks business is, Jon, you have helped She Sparks business doubled. I think I've shared that with you. I just got my taxes done.
You have.
This guy has helped She Sparks double. Not only that, but he has provided me and my team with a lot of systems, tools, amazing resources, and a lot of additional knowledge of the things that I did not know that you need to know as an entrepreneur. And I love working with Jon once a week, but I think the most important thing that Jon has helped She Sparks with, that I know he can help you, that is to scale your business. There's a difference between growing and scaling, and that's one thing that Jon is a huge expert in. And as you can tell, with working with all of those companies, he has done just that. He also has helped me duplicate myself. I have found this rock star, and that was all to Jon and him assisting me with that, and also with automation. Business can be really, really crazy, but finding the way to automate yourself is crucial in business, whether it's online business cards, emailing, text systems, ways to just stay more proactive with your task and responsibilities. So with that said, I'm going to turn the time over to Jon. He's going to do a training. Please write down the questions, engage if you would like. Thank you for your time, Jon. The time is yours.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it, Sharon. Okay, a couple things that are really important right now. Number one is communication. I've been on the phone or on Zoom meetings and live streams the last couple of weeks with clients and business professionals, CEOs, presidents of company, and even just mom and pop operators. And really the key is how well are you communicating with your lists? First of all, are you talking to your customers and letting them know what's going on in your business? Okay. If you're in an industry that you need to let people know about what kind of ways you're taking care of the coronavirus, as far as disinfecting, what your procedures are, what your processes are. I know I've have a couple of dental clients, and those dentists and orthodontists, they had to basically, unless it's the orthodontics shut down, but the dentists are open for emergency procedures and things of that nature, but they can't do elective cleanings and bleachings or anything like that. So they're shut down, but they still need to communicate with the customer base or patient base and let them know this is what we're doing, this is where things are at, that we are open to do these things. But see, because folks won't find that out, and you need to let them know through whatever channels are the best way to make that happen. If that's email, if that's texting, if that's sending out some social media, it's any of those things. So you need to take advantage of that and say, okay, what can we do to make sure that they're aware and they know what's going on? That's key. But what are the tools that you have? Do you have your lists up to date? That's another part. I found a lot of folks say, well, I don't have a list, or they do have a list, but they don't have any way to use that list. You need to spend the time, especially if you have downtime, to compile your lists, get them together, get them into a spreadsheet. That's the easiest tool you can use, because all the email programs and texting programs and even social media, they allow you to be able to export and import. So take advantage of that and make sure your lists are up to date and you're letting everybody know what's going on. So that is very key. And then the other part with the communication is let them know what you're doing going forward. Meaning, are we going to continue to have meetings online? Are we going to go online? Are we going to, what is the process that's going to happen? Are you open? Are you an essential business that you can be open, but what you have processes that you can only do? I know a lot of the restaurants right now have set up and staged take home and delivery and pickup. But the thing is that there's a process for doing that. Some of them you have to call. Some you can't stop by. You have to call in the orders. But the key is that people don't know that. I went to a restaurant that I've given my email address to at least 4 times, and they've never sent anything out to let anybody know what's going on because of whatever reason. The thing is they weren't prepared for this process, because now it's almost like we've gone back a few years and we have to go back to not being so busy, but being concerned about how our customers, our patients, our clients, our members are being communicated to. And also at the same time, if you're going to put together, this isn't going to last forever. So at some point, we're going to go transition back into regular business. And what are you going to do to get people to come back again? Because they might not have been to your business for a while. So what are you going to do what kind of offers are you going to make them? Are you going to make any offers? Are you going to let them know even if you're still open for business, do you have any offers to get them to come in? See, they don't know about anything that you're doing unless you communicate it. You assume that they know because they've been to your business recently, but don't assume anything. Assume they don't know and give them the information they need beforehand. So you're also leading by giving or communicating, but you also lead by telling people what your plans are, how we're going to go forward and what we're looking towards, because they don't know. They're stuck. A lot of people are stuck at home. They have no idea. Some people are self-quarantined. Some go out every once in a while. But the key is that if you don't tell them, it's a guess. And so by you sharing that with them, then they know what the plan is. Then with your employees, the same thing. Let them know what the plan is. Let them know this is what we're going to do this week. And it's a week by week. It's not we're going to talk about this in a couple of weeks or a month. No, it's week by week, sometimes day by day, what you have to be communicating to your employees. So make sure you're letting them know. That's the first part on the communication side. and also making sure that your lists are up to date. And that includes prospects too. If you have prospects that you haven't communicated with, or because they didn't buy right then, you put them off to the side, that list is also important too, because they're looking for businesses to lead. I mean, I was talking to a few people the other day. I said, have you heard from your professionals, like your CPAs, your lawyers, your financial planner? Have you heard from any of them? No. Well, what happened there? That's a time to lead and communicate. Have you heard from all these businesses you've done deals with or bought from lately? Have they come up to the plate and actually given you information or told you what they're doing? No. See, that's what I'm saying. This is a great opportunity to because you do lead, you'll be first. You'll be first in choice. You'll be first in their mind. See, that's a we hear that a lot of times in the media, top of the mind awareness. Well, this is top of mind. You get in front of them and you let them know what you're doing and where things are going. And I don't care if you have an auto repair or you're a dentist, it's the same process. Even with auto repair, you can do the same thing. Get them the information, let them know this is what we do. When you come if you want us to do pickup and delivery, we have that available. We'll come pick up your car and we'll bring it and we'll fix it, work on it, change the oil, whatever, and then bring it back to you. See, there's a lot of opportunities for you to start thinking outside the box also. You can't do business as usual because it's not usual. It's a whole new gear that we've been thrown into the mix, and we don't know, or wrench thrown in the mix that we just have never dealt with. So now it's like, well, let's be a little bit more proactive and think outside the box. What can I do differently? What can I take from maybe even another industry and apply it to what I'm doing and maybe make that work? But the key is I can't just sit there and say, I'm going to just stay here and hope people show up. Because it isn't build it and they will come. It's called you will tell them and they will come. So those are some things that you need to think about. And then also make sure that offer that you're coming up with, the offer to what makes sense right now. Don't think about just here's a special or here's this much off. Think about what would make sense right now. What would you want if you were buying from yourself? See, that's another thing we don't tend to do very often is pull ourselves back and say, okay, if I'm buying for myself, whatever product or service I have, what would I want? And if it's something I can't offer right now because I'm shut down, then you go, let's say 30 days from now. This is what I'm going to offer 30 days from now. Depending on what happens with the government, depends on what happens with the virus, we don't know. So it's kind of like, yes, let's plan out a little bit. Let's do some strategic. See, that's the other thing too. And I probably should have brought this up at the beginning. What is your plan? What is your strategy? What are the steps that you're going to take moving forward? And like I said before, share it with your customers, share it with your patients or clients, members, share it with your prospects, but let them know what you're going to do. And also your employees, let them know so they understand this is what's going on. A lot of folks have been furloughed or let go. Well, is that forever? Or are you going to tell them, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm planning on 30 days from now getting things back in order. You need to go and apply for unemployment, but this is what our plans are. See, so at least that way they aren't freaking out as much. I guess that's the word. You want to because uncertainty causes stress and anxiety. Uncertainty at some point becomes even more depressing. And a lot of folks I've seen in the psychiatric and the counseling industry, it's jumped. But they're all doing it online. But it's jumped. They need somebody to talk to. They're either on the phone, they're on a Zoom meeting, they're on something, but they're trying to talk through this. And these counselors, they've never experienced that before. Now, I'm not saying that to cause panic. I'm saying that to show you that it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you have to be proactive. Because 5% of the world is proactive, the rest is reactive. And too many people around us and in the government are being reactive. So we need to be a little bit proactive and lead going forward. So those are some tips that I've gotten from a lot of my clients. And there's another one too. I had this from a client that owns a hotel and casino down in Vegas. Take this time in their case, they're shut down. They can't do anything. So they're doing all their deep cleaning. They're going through and fixing things that they had on their lists that they put off or were had out 6 months out before. They're taking that and bringing that in and getting this stuff done. So they're keeping a lot of their employees busy, but they're getting things ready, knowing that, hey, as soon as we're able to open, we're open, and we're going to be that much farther ahead, and we've got a plan. So those things are very important. So make sure that you are putting those into place. So that's what I have for basic steps you need to take right now. You guys want to do some Q&A?
Yeah. And John, I just want to say a couple of things that I took away from this for me specifically was that this is really a time to lead. So this is really a time to stand out with your customers, stand out from your competition. I love the quote that you just shared, that 5% of the world is proactive and the rest is reactive. So yeah, this is a really good time for us to be proactive in our businesses. And then another thing that I took away from that was to have a plan for when this all goes back to normal. Because when this is over, I think that the more prepared we are to really change, because so much is going to change and switch from this. So don't just, when all this is over, go back to business as usual. I think that we really should be implementing plans and figure out exactly how what this is going to look like, not only for people who are just doing businesses just as themselves, but also for people in their teams. So thank you so much for those, John. I know that we have some questions too.
I love that. And just feeding off of what Emily said is, with She Sparks, we have over 100 members, and it's really interesting to see how people are reacting right now to their businesses. And it is very important to have that plan. And that plan, John can go more into details, but there's many different ways and strategies to plan professionally and personally. John, I kind of just what I wrote down, you were talking about customers lists, and I was just thinking about some of the members and some of the viewers that we have. Thank you for jumping on. Please put some questions in the chat or live, but you're talking about customers lists, and there's many different types of lists that we could provide. I know one of the ladies on our mastermind today, she had 1,000 customers. So for her, she's like, okay, well, email obviously, and I can call, but I can't reach all of them. So how can we be a little bit more specific on what type of list and who to prioritize, especially if we have a very large type of clientele?
Okay. Well, if we're looking at this from a common sense approach, we're going to say, okay, who are my best clients? Who are my A clients? Maybe take that list and split up into A, B, C, and D, and say, okay, these are the clients that I have, and then go down the list. But if I don't treat my A clients, which tend to be the ones that buy the most product or services, or they're the ones that refer the most business to me. And if I can identify them, I should be making sure that they're first in the process. So that means that how do I get in front of them? Well, yes, emails is coming back. More people are actually responding to their email, where before they were just kind of blowing it off. People are looking at their email. But they're also what the number one tool that people look at is going to be texting or Facebook Messenger. So you need to get a tool that allows you to text on masses, meaning I can send out to a group, not just one-on-one, but I can send out to a group, but also at the same time allows me to be able to communicate from one place, not just your phone, because everybody says, well, I can just do it on my phone. I'm like, no, that takes way too much time. And you think that the average text, even if you cut and paste it, it's going to take you about 15 to 20 seconds. And then if you respond, when they respond back, it's going to take you some time there. So it sucks up a lot of time. So you have to have something that allows you to do it in mass. That's important. And then also be able to answer quickly, because if I'm going to send out a text, people do expect responses within, 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you're gonna give them the full answer. It just means you're gonna respond.
I totally agree to that. You've helped me a lot with some sources. Can you maybe just list 2 or 3 off the top of your head that they can jump on and go research that could help them with the text automation and just all of that? Yeah.
Well, the problem is that some of the ones that I used to recommend, I won't recommend because they do the job anymore. And what would probably be best is we can make available we'll do this as people are online. If you say you would like a list of resources that we're going to talk or about the different services that we're going to talk about today, then say, let's say I'm in, and we'll get them a list that can be sent out. But you got to make sure you do I'm in with either a text number or an email address. Because if you don't give that information to us, we can't send it out to you. But yes, we can send them a resource sheet as we go along. But it's changing right now. We've seen a lot of folks, a lot of different companies. I mean, with email, there's the mainstays. You still have Constant Contact, iContact, Aweber. You still can use, who else is there that's really good? Entreport is another company. Some of those actually have texting included with it. So you can look and see if that's available. Other texting companies that, it's changed. That's changed right now. So I'll have to get more for you on that. And we'll get that list. As far as companies to, if you're dealing with the older folks, older market, see, that's the thing that we haven't really talked about is that, and it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it on the board back there, but I was talking with somebody the other day. I'll move off the side. It says message, market, media, and metrics. Well, if you're going to do your marketing, whatever marketing you're going to do for your business, you need to think about the message you're going to say. But before that, you need to think about the market. Who's your target market? Is that your, is it young people who tend to be on their phone a lot? Well, texting and texting works really well with them, and Facebook Messenger. If they're middle-aged and a little bit older, they're looking at all media. So they might respond more to traditional media. But especially if you're seniors, the market is going to respond to the traditional direct mail, television, radio, newspaper. Those are things that they respond to more so than the phone. And so you got to think about that. And then the message needs to hit their hot buttons. But then there's also the media, which allows you to choose what's the best tool to make that happen based on the age. So, and then the last one is the metrics. That means you're tracking what you're doing with a tracking phone number, or you're tracking your emails, or you're tracking by telling people to bring in a coupon or whatever it might be, or to send in a coupon, or maybe do it digitally over your phone or your website. But the key is that I need to understand the whole parameter. What I call this is the marketing metrics, actually understanding all of that so that whatever I do is much more effective. But as far as other tools are concerned, you can now do things over the line online with mailing houses. You don't have to go in. You just send them what you need to send out, pay for it online or pay for it over the phone and get it out there. But think about it. Your phone is also another great tool that people just aren't using as much, because a lot of these folks if they're stuck at home, they're not calling a whole lot of folks. They've already contacted everybody on social media. So really, when you do a phone call, if they want to talk to you or they don't have anything else better to do, they'll talk to you. So something to think about.
I really appreciate that. And we did draw that graph. And so it's really cool to really think outside the box of marketing and breaking those out like that. My next question for you, and again, listeners, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box or on Facebook Live. We want to make sure we get your questions answered. But Jon, you're hitting it really hard about your clients, who's your A clients, your B clients. That's great. How do we stay consistent with our hot leads? So right now, definitely take care of your customers. But how can we prioritize and balance of taking care of those clients and then taking care of our hot leads and still generating some more flow?
I would suggest that as far as if you got leads and people that are calling about your products or services, you need to sit there and respond to them as quickly as possible. If you're not set up to do that, then you need to at least send them a message, send them an email, send them a text saying, hey, I will get back to you in 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. You just need to respond quickly to them, because right now people are like, especially if they get you off of the internet, off of Google or search or AdWords or any of those things, they're going to go if they don't respond to me in 5 minutes, I'm going to the next person down the list, and they'll just go right down the list of the Google search and until they find the person that they need. If that's somebody like that. Now, if it's a client, you definitely need to be hopping on as quickly as you can to say, hey, what can I do to help you? From what I hear, see what you say right here. Why don't we get on a call? Let's get on on the phone, or let's get on a Zoom meeting. Let's do it. Now, I'm seeing more and more people electing to do the Zoom meetings because it's face to face. Some of these folks are stuck at home. They're not seeing anybody. It's a big deal. They want interaction. So, and especially with Sharon and her company, it's a networking company that people come to network to see face to face. So you need to utilize these tools to make it much more effective. But you got to respond quickly, and then also I spend some time and not try to sell people. Here's something I use a lot with sales teams. Don't try to sell them anything. Find out what they need. So you have to ask a few questions to find out where they're at, what they're looking for, and be honest. If what you have doesn't work for them, but you know somebody that does, then refer them. And let the person you referred them to, that they're going to be calling them. But the thing is, and then that helps you in your referral, getting more referrals from other sources. But the key is find out what they really need, and can my product or service provide that?
I love that, Jon. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was very helpful. We are getting tons of people starting to ask questions now. So we are now going to turn into the Q&A. Our first question is from Laura.
Yes, this is from Laura. So she says, we are considered essential services now and have been armed with disinfectant that combats the virus. So I believe this is Mary Maids, a cleaning service. We would like to know the best way to get the word out to businesses and homes. Some businesses have been closed and should be disinfected prior to opening back up. So what ideas do you have for Miss Laura?
Well, right now, if they have the time, either they or their staff should get on the phone and call the business up. Let them know what you got. So say, hey, we have this product. This is what it can do. This is how it can help. But tell them how the product can help them. How it's going to benefit their customers. And then also at the same time, they should be telling them, hey, this would be great for you to tell people about. If you decide to use this product or you want to buy this product from me, then here's what you can do. If you want us to come into your office and take care of it for you, we can do that too. But you got to also have your ducks in a row and say, these are my offers. So that when you talk to them, they say, well, what can you do? Well, we have this offer, or we have this offer, or we have this offer. Okay, which one would be good for you at this time? Well, most people pick the one in the middle. It's kind of funny. We don't pick the highest. We don't pick the lowest. We pick the one in the middle. So, but that's what you need to do. I wouldn't even worry about, if you have emails and you have cell numbers, that's great. But if you don't, just look them up online and call them. And you start talking to the first person and say, hey, I don't know if this is important to you or not, but this is what we have. And this is what we can offer you. And this is what we can do for you. But it is a big deal because most folks won't know that.
I love
unless you tell them.
Yeah. Hey, Laura, if you check the chat box, some people are mentioning, you can call gyms in town and just kind of take that. Thank you, Jon. We're going to go on to the next question. And that is, how can service-based industries continue to thrive through this? Example, beauty industries, carpet cleaning, photography, or even like real estate, the face-to-face service-based companies.
Well, you covered a lot of businesses there. Which one do you want me to start with?
Just service-based.
Well, it's even service-based. You have to keep in mind that some of the industries, you're not going to be able to do anything right now as far as getting people to come see you. You're going to see more and more, unless there's some changes, you're going to see more and more shutdowns happen for specific businesses, specific industries. And so the best thing to do is to create a plan for 30 days out. This is what we're going to do when we get open. This is what we're going to do when we get together again. This is what offers we're going to have. So you're pre-planning. You're taking the time to get those things that you put off done in your business, get your business up to 100% what it needs to be, and then start looking at create a strategy, your plan. This is what we're going to do 30 days from now. We're going to be giving this offer out. This is how we're going to send it out. This is what the offer is going to say. This is who's going to do this, and make sure it gets done. Now, all of a sudden, you have your plan, and this is great for you to do going forward anyways. And if you aren't doing this every month, you should be. You should have already done a yearly plan, but because of the virus, we have to adjust. So we're doing now weekly plans, but with these certain industries, there's nothing you can do if somebody can't come see you face to face. So and some of the folks asked. I was even talking to a gym owner the other day, and they're shut down, and I said, well, what are you doing to do a live stream like what we're doing? You need to do a live stream and teach people at different levels, at the beginner, at the intermediate, and at the pro level. You need to teach them what they needed to be doing at their house or their home gym, so that they can actually continue and not gain 15 pounds from eating at home. Because there's people worrying about that. Like, well, I'm gaining weight because I'm eating at home. It used to be the other way. You used to gain weight going out, but now it's, I guess the food must be getting better, or we're getting better cooks. Either way. But the key is that you need to take the time and say, what can I do to go online? So live streaming is it would be great for a gym. And also you sit there and say, hey, this is part of your membership. This is your membership. Don't kill your membership. Keep it going, and let's teach you what you need to do at home so you can stay healthy. And then I said, also, don't just do exercise. I go over the what you're eating and cooking. I said, take the advantage of that. Talk about smoothies, talk about nutrition, talk about all this stuff. But you got to think, again, that's outside the box, because that's not what you were doing. You were just waiting for people to come in, check them in, they go work in the gym, and then they leave. That was it. Now you have an opportunity to educate them on stuff that they never even were ever aware of or didn't think about when they came into your gym. So there's that. Now with beauty salons, that's a little bit tougher, but you can give beauty tips. You can stay in front of your clients and give them suggestions. You can say, here's something you might want to do, or take somebody, or do somebody, if you can, have them sitting at a seat and going through the process and showing people how to do certain things.
Yes.
And they can't get their hair cut, but they can still learn how to do other stuff. I'd even sit there and say, well, here's how you color your hair. Here's how you do this with your hair. Here's how you do that with your beauty. Here's this with your makeup. Let's do this, and this.
Real quick, John.
And then I would tell the gyms and the beauty salons that they need to get together and form an alliance and say, hey, I need to push people over to your live stream, and you need to push people over to my live stream.
Definitely.
I want to jump in really quick. Stephanie, one of our members who does nails. So one of her questions was how to stay active and relevant on social media. Stephanie, I hope that helped you. So give tips or just share value. So let people know how they can be taking care of themselves, taking care of their feet, taking care of their nails right now during this time. So that's a really great tip. Yeah. And we just barely did a training on this. Sharon and I just did a training on awesome scroll stopping content ideas right now, and I would love to share that with you, Steph. So I will definitely do that for you.
And I love, John, that you said this is a huge reminder for people in any industry. It doesn't matter what company you're in. Find a way to stay in front of people. Let them hear your voice. Let them maybe see your face. Don't start over a month from now. Stay consistent and stay in front of people. Mm-hmm. So our next question.
Hold on one second. And one other thing, the live stream doesn't have to be off of Zoom. It could be off of Facebook. Facebook is free. YouTube is free. Definitely. All you have to do is set up a channel or set up a page. But the key is if you just start letting people know that you have it, it's amazing. They'll want to jump on the live stream way before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he must have.
John, are you there?
We still see you.
No, I see that.
Oh,
okay.
There you go.
hit a hotkey on the board. So even though you think that people want to be, typing or texting into their messages, they don't. They would rather listen to you.
Yeah.
They want to hear other people's voices besides themselves, their kids, their spouse. No, they want other interaction. So and people say, well, I can't do it because I'm afraid to be on the screen. Guess what? So everybody's afraid to be on the screen. Doesn't matter. Nobody just automatically says, oh, this is awesome, I'm going to do this all the time. It's more like I got to do it enough to where it's not a big deal and I can do it again and again. And you're never going to look as good as you want. You're never going to sound as good as you want. You're never going to, people aren't going to hear you as good as you want. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We live in a reality TV era, which means anything goes.
Yeah.
So just get on and just start talking.
No, I think that's very, very valuable, John, and I completely agree with you.
And another thing, sorry, I hate to interrupt, but I just want to add that authenticity over perfection is really what's going to attract your audience to you and really see who you are and connect with you during this time. Like John has been saying, people just want to connect, right? They want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. And if you can be authentic, I mean, it's okay if you make mistakes right now, right?
Don't be perfect.
I think people will actually, I mean, I enjoy seeing my favorite influencers on social media when they make mistakes and they talk about it. I think it's hilarious and I really connect with them and I end up buying from them. So yeah, do we want to hop on to this next question?
Yes, next question. All right, so this is from Ryan Barton. He owns a couple different companies, a landscaping company and also like a power company, a coaching company. So John, how to keep your employees motivated to do their job well when it is possible that they could be let go soon?
So you want to encourage your employees to be a part of your decision-making process. What does that mean? I don't mean they need to teach you how to run the company, but they should be, you should ask for their opinion, their input. What can we do better? How can we do better? Just you're asking for their opinion or their suggestions, and you treat it as in being important to you. Don't just blow it off like you do with kids and say, you ask a kid a question and they give you an answer and you say, okay, and keep on going. No, you have to sit there and talk about what has been brought up. And say, okay, well, let's look at that. Even if it's a dumb suggestion, if you think, or I should say, you think it's dumb, it might not be dumb, but if you think it's dumb, you need to treat it with some respect and say, okay, let's talk about that a little bit and let everybody kind of round table on it and say, okay, well, that's something that we need to work on, or that's something we need to table, and then go through that process. Then the other thing is like I said before earlier, you got to share what your plan is. Are you confident in what you can do for the company and help the company move forward, even though we're at a stressful time? Are you portraying that leadership ability? If you're not, then you need to sit there and say, here's kind of the plan, but I want to add to it. I want you to help me to add to it so we can keep things moving forward. And then also think about, well, what can we do to keep people on longer? What can we do? I mean, a lot of these and I'm not saying you're in this position, but a lot of these presidents and CEOs are sitting there, and I've advised some of them to do this, is that you don't need to take a salary for a certain period of time. You need to lead by example if that works in that situation. If you can't do that, then don't worry about it. But if you're able to, you need to adjust and allocate resources, money to keep the people on as long as you can. You also need to make sure that your clients realize that you're still in business, so that they're not changing their plans on, well, I don't need you to come fix my sprinklers or work on my lawn or do my landscaping because coronavirus is here. Well, no, that means that we're burying our head in the sand. But if you can show people that you're moving forward and you're having offers and you're communicating, now all of a sudden they're thinking, well, yeah, I should have Ryan keep doing that. Yeah. And they will have confidence in you, and your employees will have confidence in you.
I love that, John. We just got another powerful question that I think you will have some tips on. I feel that some of us may have financial concerns right now. This at times bleeds over to sell out of your own pockets. Can you speak to abundance mindset?
So the question is reframe, say it one more time.
So I feel like some of us may have financial concerns right now. Okay. This at time bleeds over to selling out of your own pockets. Can you speak to abundance mindset?
I'm still not quite understanding what it means, but let's back up to, so people are having financial problems.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're not doing well with their sales. Is that what's being said?
Meaning, oh, okay. So she says, so the person who typed this question is like, well, I'm broke right now, and I don't think my customers or my potential clients have any money to spend. So how can I get into an abundance mindset with my customers and,
Okay.
like be, just have a good mindset for selling right now when.
Okay. Well, first off, you're assuming, you're probably assuming that they don't have the money. Now, they may have told you they don't have the money, but what I find is that if you have a product or service that they need, people find the money. And so I'm not saying that's in this case. I'm just being general here. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if I have a product or service that they don't need, then I need to find something else to sell them. If it's something that they do need, then I need to be able to educate them and help them see that what I provide, whether it's a product or service or a package of your expertise that they're taking advantage of, and I need to present it in a way that they can buy it or will buy it. But at the same time, you need to sit there and say, okay, do they have, if they need what I have, I gotta be able to sell it to them. And I need to teach them why what I have is something that they need. Now, I would go back. I've done this with salespeople a lot, where we'll go back and we'll say, okay, why are people buying what I'm selling? And then say, what am I telling them? Am I telling them these things? Yes or no? If I'm not, then I'm not doing them any service, and I also don't believe well enough in the product. So I got to either understand the product better, or I need to go back to my past customers. This is another thing too. Go back to your past customers and ask them, or current customers, why did you buy from me?
I love that.
What was the reasons that caused you to buy from me? When we're looking at the marketing metrics, the messages are based on hot buttons. Hot buttons are reasons why people buy. So you need to go back to your customers and find out why they bought from you in the first place. And time and time again, I promise you, most of it is not because of price. They bought from you either because your knowledge, your ability, the product knowledge and ability that you were able to portray to them. So they got excited and said, this is for me. So you just need to I would do a little bit of intelligence gathering and go back to my clients or customers and say, why did you buy from us?
Yeah.
Why did you buy from me? And then go see what would help you. And then after they tell you, they say, so tell me, what would help you to continue to buy from me? And they'll tell you, they'll say, well, can you do this? Or can you do that? Or can you give me instead of doing a 30-day supply, just kind of buy 15? See, there's all kinds of things that you can find out, but if you go back and talk to them and say, so what was the reasons why you bought from me? I'm refining and defining my sales message and my marketing message. I want to be on target. So tell me why did you buy from me?
I love that, Jon.
Lead that into what can I do for you?
I love that. Like the hot buttons is such a powerful thing, and just be grateful for this learning curve that you're going through, the person that asked this question. And education is so key right now. So if you thought you educated people before, this is a high challenge to continue that value of education. And I know Emily has some thoughts.
I do. Yes. I'm excited to springboard off this super quickly. So the person who asked that question, by the way, just said that, Jon, you definitely hit the nail on the head. If they need it, they will find the money.
Yep.
And I want to add that people don't buy products or services or goods. They buy stories, they buy their feelings, and they buy magic, basically. So really make sure that when you're talking to your customers, you're not talking about the features of your service or your products or your business, but you're talking to them about the benefits. So really paint the picture in their mind of how they're going to feel after they receive the product or service. What's it going to do for them? How is it going to change their life for the better? So yeah.
Yeah. And it's just having that mindset. I love that you said that, Jon, because, for people still have the money, but if you think they don't, then they're going to feel that. They're going to feel that tone. They're going to feel that energy that you're approaching, like, oh, well, you have no money, please, kind of be a begging. But we're going to go on to the next question.
Yeah. And just as a reminder, if you have just hopped on, we are monitoring the comments on our Facebook Live, as well as the chat and the Q&A section. So ask your questions for Jon right now. This is a great opportunity to get some free training.
Yeah.
So our next question is, so this is kind of really wraps in really well. How can we get our customers to continue to have a supportive mindset and continue to support our business other than, just giving the support back? So other than calling, other than, making sure that we're touching them often with calls and texts and love, what other recommendations do you have, John?
For them to support us back.
Well,
if
they'll
we're
support you
doing
back
what
when you
we
start
need to do.
asking them. Along with that, you need to ask them, what can I do to help you? What do you need from me? What can I provide for you? Meaning your products and services. Is there something that I can, is there tell them, is there a deal I can do for you right now that will help you? Especially if they've told you what's going on in their life and what's going on with their business or what's going on with them personally, then you can actually say, well, here's some things that I'm doing that might help you. And that could be specials, it could be offers, it could be sales, but you don't talk about that up front. You want to find out where they're at and what's going on with them. Then you can start customizing what you do to their need. Does that make sense? So really what you're doing is you're being, you are customizing the deal. You are helping them out specifically. And sometimes you might just have that person only gets this deal, but you know why and what for and what how, and it might keep that customer through the 30 days or however long this is going to be. So now all of a sudden it's like, instead of losing somebody, I kept them, but I might have did a deal a little bit differently because of the situation. And
Yeah,
you can tell
I
them
love that.
this is only a coronavirus deal. That's all you have to say.
So, John, is there ways for to ask for support through the community? Like what we're talking about is more one-on-one, reach out to your customers, reach out to all these people. But is it like bad to put on Facebook, like, hey, we're a local business. This is how you can help us. This is how you can help She Sparks. This is how you can help Cherry Creek Media. Like, how can we approach, if we're continue giving, how can we share on our website and all these other channels of things that people can do back for you without,
Well, what I would say, well, the way they can help you back is you can ask for those referrals that people tend never to ask. You need to really ask people and say, hey, if you know somebody who could use us, please refer them to us. So that's number one, letting people know about referrals. The next thing is to let them know, not necessarily so much about what you need, because there's been a lot of people getting on social media and they kind of whine about their situation. And guess what happens when you whine? People tune you out so fast, you don't know what's happening. Yeah, some people will comment and say, yeah, I'll send you business and I'll do this, but you really don't need to whine. You need to sit there and say, here's what's going on in our business. This is where we're at. We're looking to get in front of more people like this. Again, I'm qualifying people for referrals. We love to work with companies like this. If you know somebody who's in these areas or in this industry, please send them to us. We'd love to help you out. And oh, by the way, we have the special going on. See, now I can say, oh, by the way, but wait, there's more. You know how that goes, how we do that on TV? Well, here we go. Oh, by the way, we would love to be able to service people that or by the way, we're offering this special during the coronavirus. If you want to take advantage of it, just let us know. See, that's how you use social media. You let people know, again, you're leading. We're a leading business. We're not just trying to get your business and whine about our problems. I mean, I say that so much, and I've seen it on all the media. I even seen it on LinkedIn, and I'm going, guys, you're turning off all your followers real quick because they have problems themselves. They have issues themselves. What? I don't really care to fix your problem. They don't. But if you tell them, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing to deal with the situation, move forward. We'd love to get in front of more people like this. And oh, by the way, here's our offer that we have going on. People are like all over that. They're like, yeah, I'll do that in a heartbeat. I'll send people your way. I'll give you more business. Let's do this deal.
I think that's so powerful because we all of us can honestly say we are in need of support, right? But the way we do ask for that support is a complete strategy itself, not to sound so beggy, and you can be vulnerable, but I love what John said. There is other ways to ask for support without begging for it and having it be that message. All right, we're going to jump on to the next question.
So What are your best tips, John, for selling over Zoom or another face-to-face platform virtually, particularly when you're doing one-on-one sales meetings with people? I know a lot of people are, very comfortable in person doing sales, but how can you really connect with people virtually? What are some of your tips for that?
Well, number one, get over the thoughts and fears that you may have about being in front of a camera, a webcam. Just you have to start getting rid of those fears, because if you have those fears while you're talking to somebody and you're going through the framework of what you're selling with them, you're going to be distracted because you're always thinking, oh, does my shirt look okay? Does my face clean? Those are things that you're going on in your head while you're talking to people, instead of saying, I need to be thinking about this person and how I can help them. And that's the other thing too. I don't know. We don't have time to go over sales frameworks, but there are processes that make it easier to sell in a Zoom room or online or over the internet. But just so you understand that the first thing is getting comfortable in front of a camera. So that means practice. Just get on the Zoom, turn it on, record it, let it go, and then see how well you did. And then go back and fix whatever you need to fix.
I love that. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable, and be okay with it. And kind of like Emily hit it on the head earlier, like just learn. And if you fail, congrats, because you just learned even more from that. So,
yep. And then also be comfortable with the tool. Like if you're doing Zoom, you got to know how to use Zoom, because you want to be able to sit there and get somebody on, teach them how to get on if they don't know how to get on, put in this number to get into the conference. Here's what you need to do. Okay, great. Now, and practice that and get to where you're comfortable with it. And once, if you're comfortable with the webcam and you're comfortable with the tool you're using, or even Facebook, it's Facebook or if you're using YouTube, either one, or GoToMeeting, or any of these others are out there. Just make sure you're comfortable with it enough so you can do it and teach and walk somebody to get on with you. And then that takes care of that part. Now the sales part, hopefully you're improving, you're working on that, and you're talking about things based on what's going on right now. So your sales frame should be different. It's not the same as it used to be. It's different because I needed to find out what's going on in their life with this virus, and how are they doing? Are they taking care of themselves? How's their family? A little bit more chit chat of building relationships of trust than you normally do, because they really might not even want to be on the meeting. Yeah, they might want to talk to you because they're stir crazy, but they still might not want to be on that meeting. So you need to talk about things that are important to there and what's and see, that's the other thing too about marketing and advertising. You want to get in the head of your prospect. What does that mean? It means I got to know what they're thinking. I need to know what they're feeling. But for me to do that, I have to ask questions. You know, there's a book called Socratic Selling that's out there on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and it tells you on how to ask questions before you ever sell anybody, because really you're not selling them. You should be educating them. You should be getting to the point where you're asking the right questions. So they're just basically saying, you know what, man, I'd be stupid not to buy this.
I completely agree with you, John, because, this kind of ties into that whole financial problem. Right now, people may not be interested in buying, but does not mean they're not interested in value. And so value is key. So my tips of what I've learned from John, when you're doing these online virtual connecting, whether it's over the phone or Zoom, really figure out how you can be interested and not interesting. It's about them. It's not about you. Not saying
you're using my quote against me.
I did say that I got it from John. But be interested, not interesting. Doesn't mean that it has to be about them, but it should be about them first. Because if you can be so interested, they're going to be interested back. And the best thing to do is value. This is in a book, but I don't know what book, but marketing is kind of like boxing. When people are boxing, they don't just go right for the punch. They do like the jab, then punch.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what you're doing when you're still doing these meetings is just provide provide value, and maybe tell them how they can support you. With that said, one of our chat members just said a great way to practice, because this is so weird, right? Seeing yourself, it's a little unordinary. Talk in the mirror, or talk, maybe practice with a good friend or anything like that. But
practice with a good friend online. So in the same manner that you would with an actual client right now. So over Zoom, don't do it in person, right? Because that defeats the purpose. You already know that you're good at sales in person, but really to master it over Zoom or over an online platform, make sure that you're practicing on those platforms.
Yeah, I love that.
Cool.
And really quick, sorry. I just want to highlight something that Jon said. I don't want it to get lost in all of the other tips and value that he's sharing, but really talk about what's going on right now. So you have to change your sales strategy right now. You just have to. You can't go about it the same way that you have been doing it. So I really want to reiterate that. So keep in mind what's going on in the world right now as you're selling. You cannot have the same sales strategies right now.
Nope.
I love that.
You have to adjust.
Yep, adjust and pivot. Okay, so we kind of had a similar question, but we're just going to wrap back around just because of the other listeners jumping on. It's crazy that entrepreneurs, they're at this time, having to let people go and still trying to stay afloat. And so with that, how can business owners still sustain growth through this to still provide jobs and tasks for staff members and employees? Not so much what can they be doing, but how can they sustain the growth through it?
Well, sometimes we get, this is what I call maximize and optimize. Sometimes we get so caught up in just what we are doing, what our habits are, our business habits are. We get caught up in just doing the same thing the same way. So for you to have growth now, you have to pivot. And you're gonna hear that a lot in the business world because they're talking about it. You have to pivot and say, okay, what can we do to do things a little bit differently but still gain growth and be able to maximize and optimize what we have? Well, that means you got to do advanced relationship marketing techniques, and I'll share a couple of those with you. Number one is that you, from a business, if I'm an owner of a company, I should be looking at my customer base and say, okay, who has similar customers like mine that aren't in competition with me, but other industries? Okay. For example, if I'm a dentist and I have my patients and there's a chiropractor over here and he has his patients, do people who get chiropractic work get dentist work? Do they get their teeth cleaned? Yes or no? You guys saying yes? Okay. You're saying yes. All right. So they do. And there's the people who get dental work, get chiropractic work. Yes, they do. Do joint ventures, do alliances, basically endorse one another's, come up with some great, I know that based on things being closed down, I'm just using this as a general, not the virus isn't here, but I'm saying if they can endorse one another, have a special just for the dental client, for the chiropractor, the same thing. He has a special for the dental patients, and they basically cross endorse. They do that through email. They can do that through mail. You can do it through text. You can do it through anything, social media too. But the key is I'm endorsing this other professional. I'm endorsing him to my customers, my patients, my clients. Now, people say, well, that doesn't work. And I said, no, it does work, but you have to manage it. On average, you get a 10% response to that. So if I have 100 clients, 10% of them are going to try that out at least the first time. And you don't just do it once. You wait a month and you do it again. So you start thinking, but think about this. What if I did this with multiple businesses at the same time? Let's say I had 2 or 3 of those deals going on this month, and I was getting exposed to excuse the virus pun. I got exposed to new customers, new prospects that I didn't know of before. And because I did this special deal for this company, they're going to try me out, or they're going to seek me out and find out more about this special. Now think about this. If you had 3 of those going on and you got in front of 30 new people, would that be worthwhile? Yes, it would. Not a whole lot of costs involved with that. It does take time and management to make that happen. But that's one thing you could do. The other thing you could do is even though we can't do this in person, you want introductions. You don't just want referrals. Referrals are great. If you can get a referral, that's awesome. But I'd rather have somebody get on the phone, do a three-way call and say, hey, I want to introduce you to Sharon. She's really great at relationship marketing, and she has a networking group for women. She has all these different things. You need to talk to her.
Yes, you do. You need to talk to me.
That's right. And you put them on the phone and they talk. And the other person who did the introduction just sits back and listens. You don't have, I would strongly urge you to do that when things calm down. You go to lunch a lot or breakfast a lot, invite people to give you introductions and take them to breakfast or lunch and do it that way. But right now we can't do that. So you get them on the phone, or you can do a Zoom meeting and bring 2 people on. That's fine. But the key is I'm actively getting introductions. And then also I'm also working over here to try to get joint ventures or business alliances. So those are things that you can do to keep your business moving forward. See, so that's thinking out. Now let's think about maximizing and optimizing a little bit more. What can I do to make my product or service better for people to want to buy? I can add my product or service maybe to another product. Maybe I go out and get another product at wholesale and add it to the mix. Or maybe I need to add part of the service to the mix. Or I bundle it together with other things that I have that I don't normally sell. So the key is I'm thinking outside the box and maximizing what I'm already selling or what I already have to make that happen. So do those points help out any? Yes? No?
Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
we were just
We were on
unmuting.
Second.
Very powerful. I think I love what you said earlier of who has similar customers like me. This is an amazing time to see people who are in similar industries as you
and build a relationship with them right now.
Yeah, it's more of an opportunity than it is a competitor. Why not reach out to those who are relating so they can relate to you so much that maybe you can just have an opportunity to collaborate with them and build that relationship, because now's a good time. And I love that you said joint adventures, Jon, because one thing that Jon—
No. Joint ventures.
Ventures.
Not adventure.
Or
You don't want it to be an adventure. It might be an adventure, but you don't want it to necessarily be.
Only if you're 6 feet apart, right?
There you go.
But joint ventures, one thing that Jon's teaching me is, in business, it's okay to do one on many. You don't always have to do one-on-one, do one on many. And that's what the joint ventures is, what he was talking about. So just try it. Try an online Zoom. With that said, Jon,
Hold on. One other thought. You just brought this up. Is one on many can be done. Let's say we do the same thing. Let's say the dentist wants to introduce the chiropractor to his clients. He can do a live stream and have the dentist on and basically teach or talk about what can be done at home. So that's something that can be done, even though some of those shops and those practices are closed. You can still do it. You start developing the relationship with your customer base that you didn't have before. So use that as a joint venture also.
Yep, that is fantastic. Since you did mention home a lot, that brings me to my next question is pretty much having that balance at home and staying productive with even more distractions now, other than time blocking, because you're going to shove your kids in a closet for an hour and then let them go. So how can we have consistent balance and stay productive? Because we do now have more distractions, which are kids, if anyone has them at home at this time.
Yeah, that's tough. I for the first few years when I was building my consultancy business, I watched the kids, but I trained my kids how to work with me at home. And it's not something you can do in 30 days. I wish it was, but it's not. So it's not going to happen. But you can teach your kids to give you your space while you're working. You have to say, here's the rules. And I'm going to share this with you because it works no matter from this point on, or if you do this for the next couple of years and you're a work at home person. You need to sit there and tell the kids that when the door's closed, go someplace else. Unless you're dying, you're not knocking on the door. And you have to keep reiterating that, because they don't learn that quickly. And especially the younger ones, they really don't learn that quickly, but they will learn it. But you got to tell them the rules. Here's how it works. I need to work between this time and this time. I need you to do this, this, and this. And you make it so that kids can self-entertain. Does that mean if you have games, you have books? We taught our kids to read books, to play educational games, to watch educational stuff on the TV or on the computer. Don't just sit there and give them an iPad or your phone and make that your babysitter, because that's really not a great thing to do. You want to have them and teach the kids to interact with each other. So if you can but you have to teach them and your spouse, this is when I work. This is what I need, an hour, I need 30 minutes. That's what you need. And then I'll come back out and we'll do whatever we're going to do. But see, that's the other thing too. People have to structure their business just like they need to structure their home. And some folks, that's a hard thing for them to do. But you can do it. You can sit there and say, here's the rules. This is how we're going to do it. This is why we got to do it, because this is how work goes, whether it's for daddy or mommy or both. This is how work goes. And you guys have to plan your day out and say, okay, from this time, you're working on schoolwork. And from this time and this time, we're going to do this. And this time we're going to. So you are using time blocking, but you use it differently now. You're not necessarily doing it for your business. You're using it in for your day-to-day stuff. You're doing it now for the business home mix. And it's just a process, but you have to use your calendar, and you have to teach your kids how to use a calendar. So you might all want to have your own Google calendar so they all know. So just some thoughts.
I love that. And another thing I know that one of our members does in She Sparks is that whether it's Google or paper, especially at home now with her kids, she puts her calendar for that week on her fridge. So her husband knows, her kids that are, at that age knows that she's in that room until this time. Leave mom alone unless you're dying.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, it's what you do. And you include them in your calendar setting, meaning, yeah, you have your stuff for business, but you let them set their stuff too. When things get back to normal and the kids are going to school and all their activities, it's the best. Time blocking is the best thing you can have, because everybody knows what's going on. And also it makes you more credible to your family, because if it's on the calendar, I'll be there. It's a big difference. And they respect that, and they know you're going to be a part of their lives. So it's something that just makes your whole family life better.
I love that you said that, because, before this craziness, we train our clients. We train our customers on our time, when we're available, when they can have our time, how much time they have. So just kind of like you train your clients, you also do have to train your family at this time. And yep. I really love that you hit that on the head, Jon. Train your family. Train them.
Take them to boot camp.
Take them to boot camp. You know what? Yes. There you go. There you go.
Love it.
So, Jon, I know that there's so many other things that people do want help on. We do have time for 2 to 3 more questions, but I really kind of want to talk to you, Jon, as in, what are some of your clients going through? Are they small businesses? Are they large businesses? Are they out of state, local? Yes. Like, what's going on with other businesses that we can, learn from?
Well, all the things that I talked about at the beginning was, to answer your question, yes, all businesses are my clients. So they're out of state, they're in state, they're big, they're small. They're all having this problem, and I as far as dealing with the virus, but if they follow the communications, the be the leader, have the plan, let people know what's going on, use the tools to stay in front of them, and do that every week, at least weekly. You can do it more, but you got to do it at least weekly, because things are changing. We don't know what's going to happen this next week. We don't know what the government's going to do after our first deadline, which is the end of this week. We don't know what's going to happen after at Easter. We don't know. We have no idea. So you can only plan for what you know. So you plan your business and your family based on what you know. And that goes weekly. So you let people know what's going on, and you lead by example by saying, this is what we're doing. This is how we stay virus compliant. This is what we're doing. If you come in, this is what's going to happen. If you can't come in now, we're planning a 30-day sale or open house or whatever it is, or we're going to do an event, whatever you're going to do. You basically you plan something that people can look forward to. Yeah, you might have to bump it down the road a little bit, but you just tell people, get them excited about something going on in your business. Then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I have something to look forward to. Because a lot of people right now aren't looking forward to nothing. They're just hoping that this goes away quickly. So does that help?
Yeah, most definitely. I really appreciate that. Just a reminder for those listening, we do have time for two or three more questions. But Jon, how can we stay motivated through all of this? Because we can continue giving our love and our support and our energy, helping other people. We can ask for help as well. But what are some ways that we can stay consistent with our motivation with ourselves, especially since we're locked up in our homes?
Well, there's two things. One is you should be learning all the time. Life is continuing education. Growing your business is continuing education. So you have the opportunity to read, listen to books. You can take that time to there's online courses that you can take advantage of. There is also, you can maybe even create your own online course and make it happen. Because it's not that difficult. It's just recording a video and explain to people what they need to know to do it. I mean, I have people sitting there saying, well, I know a lot about Gmail and Google tools, G Suites. And I said, well, why don't you make a video of it? I said, give it a couple of sections, make a video of it, put it online. People will buy that because a lot of people don't know how to use Google Suite. They don't. And there's other people that want to learn how to do more in marketing and advertising, or they want to learn more about how to do management in their company, or they want to learn about time management, or they want to learn more about leadership, or they want to learn more about this or that. So that's what you do, is you find the things that you need and start taking some time out of your day to learn that, and then but don't just learn it, but also apply it. So what do I need to do to apply it to my situation, to my business, to whatever's going on? Go out and develop, like we said before, create those joint ventures and alliances that you can start doing right now. Put your plan together for 30 days and then keep that plan going for the rest of the year. If you haven't done so, start figuring out how I'm going to do things, because you're going to have to build back when things get better. You're going to have to add, you're going to find out that honestly, this is probably going to cause us a short recession. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
There's going to be a short recession in the world. But the key is it's not, I don't think it's going to be long. It'll probably be deep, but that doesn't mean we quit doing what we're doing. That just means that we got to be innovative and make sure that we go forward and start going back to, that's why I say, if you've stayed in front of your customers this whole time and done and communicated with them, they're not going to go anywhere because everybody else isn't doing anything. That's the great thing. Nobody's communicating. You guys suck. Because it's like, why aren't you talking to your customers?
I completely agree to that, because like you said this earlier, and for those watching, and we do have two more questions of people wanting to ask, but how many people have reached out to you of the services that you actually pay out, whether it's your mortgage person, your insurance, your doctor, your chiropractor? Has any of them reached out to you? How does that make you feel? Probably not good. So when things get better, guess what? For those who actually did support you, they're the ones that's going to have your business. And so, that's something to think about. But we're going to move on to the next question.
Yeah. So really quick, I know we're kind of crunched on time a little bit. So the last two questions. The first one is, what is your best advice for a restaurant during this time? And Jon, just so you know, this restaurant is currently doing the takeout orders, curbside pickup, and I believe delivery. So they are already kind of doing those things, following those guidelines. But do you have any additional tips for restaurants who have had to lay off their staff right now?
Well, the ones I've talked to high-end restaurants all the way down to just takeout places. They are offering those services, but they're not communicating. I understand that. I'm hitting this a lot, but they aren't letting people know the process for takeout. They're not letting people know we have 5 other phone numbers you can now call They aren't letting you know if they're doing special. Some people are doing special, some are not, but you don't know that until you get there. See, it's kind of like after the fact. It's like, why are you waiting for people to show up? You shouldn't be. You got to get in front of the curve and say, okay, I want people to run over me. I don't want to chase people. I want people to run over me. So if I want them to run over me, I got to contact them. And if you can't, all you have is a phone number, fine, call the phone number. If you have a phone number, text. If you have an email. But the key, or if you want to do Facebook Messenger, do that. I don't care. Just let them know what's going on and how they can come and take advantage of it. Then also at the same time say, look, be creative. Come up with specials that you've never done before. Meaning, hey, we have for a family of 4 this deal. Hey, we have this deal. Hey, guess what? We have the virus deal. I don't really, just make it fun. Be funny. I mean, you'll say, hey, we're at Corona. You want a Corona? We got a Corona. This is our Corona. Our Corona is this. You see, Corona means king, actually. So it's not a bad thing to use. But people sit there and get all uptight. And I'm like, oh no, guess what? We're still functioning. We still have to eat. And people are sitting there saying, well, you gotta go out at least 3 times a week to support us. And I'm like going, I will do that if you tell me what you got going on, because I don't know what you got going on, and you're not telling me what you got going on.
That's a really, yeah.
So really it's going back to that. They need to take the time, whether it's themselves or an employee, to actually get their communication down and get it out on a regular basis. Sit there and say, if you got a happy hour that you want to promote it. Tell them how to get it. Tell them what they're going to get with it.
Love it.
I agree.
But you got to tell them.
And the thing is, for the food industries, because, this could be for bakers or for restaurants, maybe a good idea is think about if any of your food is going to go bad and you're a little worried about it, then maybe give some free meals away or free lunch, and then those influencers or whoever you do decide to give that free food to, ask them when you come pick it up, do a live video, do a post, help us. So that's one great thing, because we don't want your food to go bad. Don't let it go in the trash. Figure out a marketing campaign of 5 people that are influencers who want food you can give to, but ask them for A, B, and C in return.
I love that. Yeah.
Well, that's a good one, but also do this too. The restaurants can actually sell their product to anybody. They don't have to fix it right now. They've been given the go ahead. So they can actually, if you call your local restaurant and you want to say, hey, do you have flour, sugar, you have TP, you got anything you want to sell? They can sell. But here's the other thing too. If I'm a business owner, I would be doing this. I'd be sitting and say, hey, I'd get on live and say, this is my favorite restaurant. Tell all your customers, say, hey, this is my favorite restaurant. This is who I go to. You need to go over there and you need to go talk to them and let them know that I sent you, and they'll give you a 5% discount. Go talk to the business, go talk to the restaurant and say, hey, would you guys like another 100 customers? Yeah, I would. Okay. What kind of deal can you give me? Oh, we'll give you 10% off. Easy. Most of them will do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
We'll even give more. And now what happens is you've just endorsed your customers to that restaurant, and they're going to get some business out of it, and free advertising out of it. So you guys can do whatever you want. You can be creative and sit there and get. And if I own a restaurant, I'd be going to all the people that I know that own a business, say, hey, let's do this. Would you be willing to endorse me? Yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's get on. We'll even do a live. We'll do a Facebook. I don't care. We'll do anything. Be creative. Think outside the box and innovate.
Most definitely, Jon. Most definitely. We have one more question, and then we're going to conclude the training.
Yep.
And that is,
so what's the best ways in helping people move past the fear? So advice on conversations. I'm just asking, so what are the best ways to move past the fear with people?
Well, it's kind of like fear only comes when you're uncertain. Again, and I talked about this earlier. So make something. What things can you be certain about? Well, I'm here. I'm breathing. We can go. We can go out. We can always go outside. Look up at the sky. See the blue sky and be grateful for what we do have. See, that's the thing. Fear gets in the way when we forget about what we're grateful for. And you should have in your journal or on your phone or wherever. You should be writing down the things you're grateful for and use that as a tool to come back and look at it and say, when you're down or you're discouraged, or if you feel depressed or anxious, look at that again. And people all of a sudden, it's a great reminder. Yeah, I love my family. I love my pets. I love this. I love that. I love my lifestyle. I love what I'm doing. Yeah, this is a bump in the road, but so what? And then you don't have the fear as much. I'm not saying it's gone away. I say it's not as much. And then you can deal with the fear and say, okay, you know what can I do? See, that's the thing we also tend to forget about, is that we can do lots of things. Even when we're limited, we still can do a lot of things. We're just not thinking. We're not breaking out of our mindset, our box that we've created around ourselves. We're not sitting there saying, hey, I can do these things. Am I spending more time with my family? Am I spending more time with my kids? Am I spending more time with because I'm in most cases, I'm stuck with them. If I'm not and they're away from me, then I should be on the phone or video chat somehow, some way, so that I have that relationship going. And then I'm spending more time with that relationship because I've been given a blessing from that, because I have more time to do that versus being so busy with work. So take advantage of it. Don't allow who's important in your life. Have you contacted them to see how they're doing? Have you bothered to see what's going on with them? Have you let them just kind of chew your ear off basically and tell you everything is going on and you not say anything? Have you done that? Some people just need to vent. Some people just need to talk. Have you done that? So try and get it to the point where you're saying, I'm grateful for what I have. I'm thankful for what I have. I'm taking time to do things that I don't normally do because I have the time, and make your life a little bit better and go, yes, I have these fears, but I can work through them. I can deal with them.
Awesome. So, hey, I just want to, I have one last question. This is our last question, everybody. So basically, this is somebody who is in the real estate industry. So what are some of the best ways to calm clients right now? Do you have any tips for real estate agents on how to calm their clients right now?
So I don't think it matters with what business you're in, but if you think about it this way, your clients are worried. Again, you call them, you see where they're at, see what's going on in their lives, talk things through a little bit. If you can help them with what's going on, then try and help them. If you can't help them, say, you know what, I can't help you with that, but I'm here if you need to talk. I'm always a sounding board. I do want to let you know what I'm doing. Share your experiences, share what you're doing to work, to go get through the business part of it, through the family or life part of it. This is what I'm doing. And this seems to work really well. And then also at the same time say, look, this isn't going to be forever. We don't know how long it's going to last, but it's not going to be forever. So we just need to say, what are our plans going to be when this breaks? What are we going to do when it breaks? Are you going to continue? Do you still want to get this home? Do you still want to do this? Do you still want to do that? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so let's create your own plan for us. Your relationship with me and what I'm going to do for you, let's write the plan down. So you can create your own action plan for them, email it to them, and they have it. And then when you talk to them the next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, then you have something to go off of. And things are going to change, and they're going to say, hey, they'll probably call you up, say, hey, things have changed. Let's get going. And you're like, great. And it might not have anything to do with what's going on with the virus. It might be them just saying, I want to go forward. I want to make this happen.
That's super, super powerful because, for those who are watching that, really, like if you're in the medical field, chiropractors, massage, it sucks. Like you can't really see your patients, right? Or therapists, or it doesn't matter what you're in. So that's so smart that Jon said that. If you can't physically serve your clients the way your business should, then call them and make a plan.
Yes.
Say, okay, you can't come in for your treatment, so what is our plan? And
Yeah.
that's going to be really powerful for them. And I really want you to really think about at this time, what are you learning, and journal it. It's going to be a mindset thing, and it will help you with empowerment. A couple tips I want to quickly share. This is coming from Laura Kingsford, who is a member of She Sparks. But for those who are working from home, which we all should, right? She was mentioning, just to help your day, like your first 30 minutes of your day, think of at least one or two things you want to achieve, just one goal, and if you can cross that off, that will help you. Definitely time block that we mentioned. But one way to help your mindset and to stay proactive is, when you wake up in the morning, still get ready as if you were going to go to work, right? Because if you're in your PJs and if you're comfy, your mind's going to be like, oh, I'm comfy and I'm going to get a little lazy and then I'm going to take a nap. And then it goes downhill from there. So get ready in the morning. Walk outside as if you were gonna go to work. Take a couple deep breaths in and out, and then turn around and say, I'm going to work, and act like you are going to work.
I love that.
Once you're done working for the day, you walk back outside, take a couple breathers in and out, turn around, walk back in. I am done with work. It's going to help with your mindset. It's going to help you with your motivation, your consistency, and it is just a mindset thing. With that said, we quickly want to share with you what's coming up next for She Sparks. And then I have one more plug for Jon. So Emily, what are we doing? What is She Sparks doing that's going to serve this community?
Heck yes. So we are so excited, honestly. So this is the first time we've ever gone live on Facebook. So we're really excited. If you're just now hopping on, please remember to go back and watch the beginning and watch this all the way through. We're about to close. So I hope that your questions got answered. But if you're just now tuning in, just rewatch it, because there is some amazing free content in here. So what we have coming up next is on Monday, March 30th, we have a members only Zoom meeting. So this is going to be a large meeting for members where we're all going to come together. On April 1st, we have another free training that we hope to be screening live again, April 1st. So this is going to be all about crisis management plans as being a leader. So that's going to be from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And then Sharon and I are hosting our next masterclass webinar series. So this one is going to be kind of like a coffee or cocoa, PJs, and get marketing tips. So we're all going to come together from home, grab your favorite warm drink, cuddle up, get close virtually, and then we're going to be sharing our tried and true marketing tips with you on there.
Yep.
So, and also just give love and support and connect, and try to be as personable as possible on that Zoom. So that's April 2nd to the 3rd, and we're going to do that early in the morning, so 9 to 10:30. That's early for me.
And seats are very limited, and so our last masterminds we've done, they did fill up really, really quickly. Those masterminds, it is just $40 for the back-to-back training, party, marketing tips. You're going to get PDFs and so much more. And so that's a great way that you can support us. And with that said, we are providing a lot more online trainings, and we are going virtual as of right now. And so my last plug, and then we're going to end this. And Jon, I want your last thoughts. Jon, for those who did not hear it at the beginning, Jon is my business coach. He's been the She Sparks business leader for over a year now. And because of Jon, and we'll put his links are in the chat, and also the Facebook Live. He's helped me double She Sparks in 1 year. Do you want to double your business? Who's helping you do that? Also, he's helped with systems, tools, resources. More importantly, he's helping me scale and duplicate myself and find ways to go more automatic tech and just all those other tools and services. So Jon, thank you so much for your time. Do you have any last words you would like to say? It's 11:30.
I can't see the links yet. Is in the Q&A or is in the chat?
It's in the chat at the very, very top. We just put your business card, jonbingham.com/card.
That's fine. Did it tell you the recording stopped?
It did, but I think we're still live.
We're still live though. I'm just letting you know. Okay. No, go to that. If you want to get in touch with me, that's the easiest way to get in touch. There's also a place on there for you to schedule a strategy call. If you're thinking about anything that we talked about that you want to go over, you can schedule that strategy call, pick a date and a time, and then you'll be in the system, and we'll do that. But the key is that there's so many strategies that we shared. The key is to take them and say, this is number one, this is number two, this is number three. You got to create really your own action plan. So if you need help with that, you can use that for that strategy call to create an action plan. But yeah, the strategies, you're not going to get charged for. They're free. And it's a half-hour call. And if you want to find out anything more about me, you can go on my digital business card and look there too.
Yeah, and I highly recommend take up on that. Take up the 30 minutes. You're going to get so much value. I'll take you up on that offer, Jon.
Same.
But he will help you with your action plan, and the training, the free training next Wednesday complements Jon's training today, as we will be building more of the action plans and actually okay, run with it now. Don't just listen, nod your head, go. Be proactive, take action. But with that said, we love you, She Sparks Business community. Yes. We are here for you.
I just want to say really quick too, we're seeing all of your messages of love that you're sending in the chat.
My phone's going crazy.
We're not recognizing you all individually, but just know that we feel it. We feel the love and the warmth. Thank you so much for your kind comments. And we're here to stay. We're going to continue doing this and offering these services for everybody.
Yes. Yes. All right, Jon, thank you so much for your time. Community, we love you, and you will see us soon.